Let me start this week off with a question. I know that I do that a lot, but I like to make sure that you're with me in thinking. So, how many times have you waited to feel motivated before you did something important? Maybe it was getting up early to practice, or starting a morning routine, or working out. Maybe it was just doing the thing you know you needed to do, but just didn't feel like doing it so much. Well, if you're honest, probably more times than you'd like to admit. And I know that would be the case with me too. So that's why this week we're talking about what actually keeps us moving forward, not just when we feel like it, especially when we don't. We're going to talk about motivation, discipline, daily routines, and the surprisingly powerful math of doing just a little bit every single day. And I want to start today by talking about what motivation really is. I think motivation is a mirage. You know, that oasis you see as you're walking through the desert. You go forward towards it, just anticipating this beautiful water and coolness, only to have it fade away. Well, that is what motivation's like. It's there sometimes. It might last and kind of work for a little while, but in the end, it just can't be counted on. So, motivation does have its place, and we should definitely take advantage of it when we feel it. But if we wait to feel motivated before we take action, if our consistency depends on whether we woke up inspired this morning, well, we're going to be waiting a lot, because motivation is an emotion. And like all emotions, it comes and it goes, and it shows up when it feels like it, but it can disappear without warning. So it's just not reliable as a foundation for the consistent daily effort that actually produces results. Think about it this way. Top athletes don't train only when they feel like it. Elite performers don't show up to practice only on the days they feel inspired. They show up because they've made a decision, not a feeling, a decision that this is who they are and this is what they do, regardless of how they feel that morning. So that is the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation says, I'll do it when I feel like it. And discipline says, I'll do it because I said I would. Now, if you haven't noticed by now, I love a good analogy. So here's another one for motivation. Motivation is a wave. You know, it comes in, it peaks, it crashes. Well, discipline is the tide. It just keeps coming regardless. Now, I should be clear. I am not saying that motivation is bad. Like I said, a rush of inspiration is a beautiful thing that we want to take advantage of when it comes. And it can help carry us through hard times. We talked about purpose and your why back in, I think it was week 15, and how that, deep values driven motivation can really help sustain us. But what I'm talking about here is the surface level kind of motivation, the kind that, shows up after watching a great video or listening to a great podcast and then fades by Tuesday afternoon. Well, that kind of motivation is a spark, and sparks are great for starting fires, but they're not what keeps the fire burning. Discipline keeps the fire burning. And here's the really good news. It is not, meaning discipline, it's not something you either have or you don't. Discipline is a muscle, and like every other muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. So every time you do the thing you said you were going to do, even though you don't feel like doing it, you're making a deposit into your discipline account. And those deposits compound over time. And that compound effect is the topic for tomorrow's episode. So for now, I just want you to think about this one simple shift. Instead of asking yourself if you feel motivated right now, start asking yourself, what do I want more? To sleep in or to reach my goals? To sit in the AC eating bonbons or to be prepared for my next event? Are you someone who waits for motivation or someone who does it because you said you would? So let's close today with our power statement for the week. Write it down, keep it with you. I strive for 1% improvement every day. Now, tomorrow we're going to look at the math behind that 1%, and I promise it's going to change how you think about your daily habits.